Welcome back to my film and TV channel. Yes, I've watched a couple of films recently that have gone against the grain and upset a few people because I've not really liked them yet. I'm going to upset dog lovers now with this one. It's a horror. It's called Good Boy. It's a 15 certificate, 72 minutes, thankfully, so I didn't have too long to suffer. And supernatural horror directed by Ben Leonberg in his feature debut. Yes, directorial debut. Jim Vorrell from Pace said, yes, it stars a dog, but it's also one of the year's most potently unnerving and emotionally resonant horror films at the same time. Okay, Sarah Michelle Fetters from Movie Freak said about this is going to go down as one of the year's most disappointing misfires. I am in the minority, but I do agree with Sarah on this. I don't know where all the hype and joy has come from for this one, in fairness. Please, guys, talking of hype, if you're new to the channel, if you can subscribe. I'm not usually as negative as this, and dog lovers, I don't mind dogs. I don't own a dog personally, but at this point in time, I have done in the past. But I get a lot of we get a lot of barking around where we live, and it's not our dogs, and it can be quite annoying at silly times of the day. But there you go, that's how it is. But I went into this hoping that it would be a good horror film. So don't worry about. What I'm trying to say is I'm not usually as down on films as this, but we'll talk about it anyway. Press those buttons, guys. Give us a like, please, now before I let go with my criticisms. Give us a like, subscribe if you're not already done so, and yes, hype. I mentioned hype, didn't I? We've got hype buttons on YouTube now, so you can give us a few points, hype points. It helps all the algorithms and stuff like that. So I need all the help I can get after watching this. I shouldn't really be doing a review on something like this, should I? Because I'd probably upset 90% of the population. But I'm not going to upset them. I'm just going to be honest, and that's all I am. I'm trying to be honest. I give other people's opinions as well, as you can see, good and bad about the film. So we'll talk about it. Yes, it's about a loyal dog who moves to a rural family home with his owner, only to discover supernatural forces lurking in the shadows as dark entities threaten his human companion. The brave pup must fight to protect the one he loves most. The owner of the dog's not too well either, so there's not many other people about. There's not many other people turn up to help out. But anyway, never mind. Would you, if your relative lived in a haunted house, I suppose you'd give it a wide berth, wouldn't you? This stars Shane Jensen, Ariel Friedman, Larry Fassenden, and of course Leon Bergs, the director, writer, etc. Real life dog. Indy is in the title role. A bit more on Indy in a moment. This was released in the United States on October the 3rd. I'm doing this review. Well, I'll call it. It's not really a review. This it's just disappointing. On the 21st of October 2025. I tell you what, I wish the dogs near us would be as quiet and as well behaved as this poor thing in this film. When it even gets hairy, when it's getting its chain pulled by supernatural forces, you hardly get a squeak out of it. It's a lovely dog. It is a lovely dog, don't get me wrong. But I'd say there's a few dogs around here could do with a bit of training as to when to bark and when to growl and God knows what, because it's shocking around here. But that's why I don't have a dog, because you need to spend time with them, don't you? And some people around here just have dogs as a badge, where it's a badge. Oh, I've got a dog, I've got a dog. I put, look at me, I might take it out once a week, stuff like this. Anyway, that's by the by, that's personal. As far as the story, I think it's a brave attempt, something different. I was quite interested. I was intrigued. As I said, I'm not a dog hater. I just thought that was quite an unusual perspective. Getting a bit of hype as well. The scores were very good, so I thought, it might be okay. But sadly, as a horror, it didn't really tick many boxes for me. It didn't really work. Dog lovers, and there's many of those, of course, may be interested in that story from the dog's perspective. But for me, it all wore a little thin and repetitive. And scares were virtually non-existent. We get a bit of a climax to the film, as you'd expect, but it's all the build-up so slow and laborious and not really scary. And I think it actually may have been better. It's only 73 minutes. It may have been better with a bit more human interaction, actually, with the dog. But There's a lack of chemistry, I think, between the dog and its owner. You can see he likes his owner, but there's not a lot of love given there. An investment limited the film's impact, either canine or human. Yeah, there's just the characters. There's just no real chemistry apart from the dog being lovely. That's about it. Indy is lovely, but it does lack a little bit of emotion. As I said, it takes a lot to get him going, even under extreme circumstances. He's a lovely dog, but he's a pretty crap actor, in fairness. And I believe it took 400 days over 3 years to shoot this. I'm sorry, Indy. You're a lovely dog, but you should have been sacked and a proper actor dog brought in. though in his defence, the script was rather rough. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know why I put that in. I'm sorry for this review, guys. It's just not a normal review, but it's not a normal film, is it? Let's have a look at a couple of other people's thoughts. Benjamin Lee from The Guardian scored it 60, so he quite liked it. He said, even at a brief 73 minutes, Good Boy can feel stretched. It does. A film that never quite convinces you that shorts wouldn't have worked better. Yeah, 10 minutes would have done me. Even though India's a remarkably expressive dog, really. There are only so many variations on dialogue-free scenes of him checking out a weird noise in the dark, and the cycle soon gets repetitive. Yes, I think I've said that. Exposed with a script that's a bit on the thin side. Yes, I've said that as well, but give it a 60. So, expressive. Sadly, Indy wasn't that expressive. He only had 2 or 3 expressions for me. I was just glad when he hopped in the car at the end and was taken away. Just a thin script, and Indy just is not good enough to carry this sort of poor story on his own. He's just, it's just not good enough to do it. It's sad. I mean, it would have been better perhaps if he had an assistant, a human to play alongside him, but rather than the sort of brief sort of interactions we get in the film. Frank Sheck from Hollywood Reporter said, Good Boy works well enough on its own terms, managing to sustain sufficient tension throughout the course of its smartly concise 73-minute running time. Yeah, I think you liked it, Frank. It's not gushing though, is it? Listen, I got a bit tense. Waiting for Indy to at least growl. That was my problem. Never mind let out a bark. God forbid he barks at anybody. There's a supernatural being sort of playing around all around him and his doomed owner, of course. But not good. I mean, it takes more than a quirky idea, a perspective to make a good film. You need a good story. And no offence to poor Indy, but this just isn't that good a story to tell. And I'm sure Mr. Cool Indy has not been harmed in the making of this. I'm sure he's not worried in one iota. He certainly didn't show it. And he possibly had a little more fun than we did. Although, again, we didn't really see whether he did have fun or not. Sorry, doggy lovers, but I thought this was pretty rubbish. But I am in the minority, so a lot of people are liking this. I don't understand why, particularly apart from the fact they like dogs, which is fair enough. But that's not enough to entertain as a film. Rotten Tomatoes, 147 critics, 131 were fresh, only 16 rotten, so let's make that 17 rotten. I'm not going to be fresh on this one. The website's consensus, Good Boy is a visually striking, emotionally devastating horror film that eschews genre conventions to deliver a uniquely haunting and conceptually ambitious experience. It's ambitious, but I don't think of any of those words in that consensus probably mean anything for this film. I just don't know where all the excitement and all the deepness and all the positivity is coming from. Metacritic liked it, 21 critics, 15 were positive. There were 6 mixed, so 6 weren't were a bit on the fence, but no negatives. So I'll make that 1 negative because I've got to be negative on this. I can't even be mixed on it. I just didn't enjoy it. Rotten Tomatoes audience 4.1 out of 5. Joe Public like it. Metacritic users not so much, 5.9 out of 10. So they're not gushing. And we've got 7,500 or we're approaching 7,500 scores and reviews on Internet Movie Database. It wasn't working for a while this morning, but by the time I put this little thing together, it is again, thankfully. I don't know what the problem was. Anyway, it's getting a 6.5 on Internet Movie Database, which is a lot more than I would give it, because if it doesn't get a 5, I don't score it, because I don't want to insult the poor little thing, or a film or a filmmaker. Might have been his pet project, and this was his pet project, wasn't it? In more ways than one, of course, with indie. But yeah, so 6.5 from Internet Movie Database. I'm not going to give it. I can't give it a 5, which is my minimum score. So I'm not going to insult it anymore by giving it a score under 5. Disappointing for me, guys, and I'm sorry, it's a bit of a waffle, this review, and my apologies. Hope you stuck with me. Anyway, if you have stuck with me, you want to contact me about your lovely dog that you've got at home that doesn't bark, you can come and move into next to us, please. Get rid of the neighbours we've got with barking dogs. That'd be great. I mean, you know, from 2 in the morning, 6 in the morning, all times of the day. You know, usually I'm awake, but that's not the point, is it? It's not good. Indy's a lovely dog, he is, but the film's crap. Simple as that. Let me know, guys. Contact me, or of course, if you want to help support the channel, if you still want to, if you enjoy what I try and do, I try and be positive as much as I can, but I try and be honest as well. So if you want to support me, just stay on for a few moments and just find out there's different ways of supporting this channel. Thanks for watching, guys. Just keep watching and listening. Hi again, hope you enjoyed the feature, guys. Thanks for watching. Please, if you did enjoy the content, please give us a thumbs up, and if you've not already done so, press that subscribe button. If you're not already subscribed, that'd be wonderful. It's free to subscribe, absolutely free. Also, check out my social media links if you want to follow me on TikTok, Instagram, X, Facebook. They'll all be in the description below. And my special thanks to supporters of the channel, yes, Piat6505, who have an eBay shop selling film and TV memorabilia, including posters, books, magazines. There'll be a link again in the comments section. And if you're into your football, don't forget my football stuff on Manchester City for general football fans, but mainly City fans, of course. Or if you know someone who might enjoy that, give them a kick in my direction. I'll be very, very grateful. And as ever, guys, comments on this feature is wonderful. Anything to do with film and TV is always very, very welcome. It's great to talk film and TV. I thank you, guys, for your support. Stay safe, everyone.